wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the God. Jess Hilarious. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, Jess is on maternity leave, so we have Lauren LaRosa filling in, and we have a special guest on the line right now. She's actually out in Dubai. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Sister Souljah. Welcome.
Peace.
And how are you feeling?
I feel good.
You feel good?
Today is pub day, so I'm excited, and I hope that, people will get a chance to read my book, and people who enjoy the series will like this new edition.
Oh, they will.
Now, we asked for you to be in person, but they said Sister Souljah is in Dubai. So have you moved to Dubai? What is in Dubai? Why are you in Dubai? Why did a girl from the Bronx decide she wanted to go to Dubai to start writing?
Well, I needed some peace in my life. Writing takes a high level of concentration. And so if I want to concentrate, I need things to quiet down and be a little steady. And so I had come here before, maybe around 2013, and I said this would probably be a good place to have that kind of peace of mind. So much was going on in the country, as it still is going on. And so now at least I can concentrate and focus and feel safe and healthy, and I can watch what's going on at home from afar.
Peace, Queen,
Gives
Sister
you a different
Souljah.
Perspective.
How are you? I just walked back
Peace,
in the room.
how you doing?
I'm blessed, black, and highly favored. I don't blame you for getting out of here.
Yeah, no, I really at the time that I left, I was really thinking about it quite clearly. Like, could I move from where I'm rooted? Can I leave all of my cars and house and everything and go somewhere else? And, I don't know, maybe end up in a little rent-a-car or something. But I was like, yep, I can do that. And I did.
Do you feel a lot of the stuff that you have talked about and discussed throughout your whole life just seems like when you go back and look at some of the things you've talked about, or you've spoken about, it seems like things never change. It's like we're still having those same conversations, whether it's politics, whether it's racism in the country. And how do you feel about that?
I think things do change, and I think it's gotten worse, actually.
I agree.
When I look, at the news, when I take a break, from my work, I'm always shocked, like every time, I'm always shocked at what's going on at home. And the funny thing is, well, it's not really funny. I guess it's ironic. It's like when I'm working or when I'm with my family over here, everything is peaceful. And then about 6 p.m. is the open of business in America. And as soon as I hear from my family at home, I'm like, oh no, what's next? Oh, that's terrible. That's sad, and I try to keep my, positive outlook, but I just think that things are not going so well at home.
What do you think makes Dubai so peaceful?
Order. Dubai, UAE is an Islamic country, and so it doesn't have as much of the contradiction or the hypocrisy that we have at home. I think a lot of people at home get confused because at home we have the separation of church and state. That's the way our constitution is set up. That's how our system is set up. And so morality and certain order and certain civility is not part of the legal code. Whereas here, the Quran itself is the law.
Right.
So you have to follow the guidance, and you have to respect the limits. At home, I think our appreciation for freedom leads us or misleads us sometimes to exceed the limits in ways that is not healthy.
You know, we're going to talk about Love After Midnight in 1 second, but when you in the UAE, every black woman that I've met in the UAE, because I love Abu Dhabi, they tell me that they feel like a white man in America feels in the UAE. That's how empowered they feel there.
Well, UAE is considered the safest country in the world. You can walk and not feel any kind of anxiety, whether it's daytime or whether it's nighttime. The police are actually friendly, you know, which is mind-blowing if you come from New York City, right? And, you know, my husband and I were walking outside one day for exercise, doing some cardio, and a cop car drove by and waved. And my husband was like, he's a Brooklyn cat. He was like, are they waving at us? He's like, are they trying to tell us something? You know, what's up? And I said, no, they just saying hi. They just saying hi, because that's how it is out here, you know. It's not the police versus the people. It's not, you don't feel like your blackness is a crime or even a consideration, really. You know, so it's a lot of stress removed, especially if you have children. If you're a parent, if you are a parent and you worry at home, you worry all the time. Every time your son walks out the door, every time your daughter, you know, is outside of your eyesight. And here, because everybody knows what the rules are, and they have to respect the limits because the limits are the law.
That's right. You're here to talk about Love After Midnight, which is the latest installment of the Winter Santiago series. For those who aren't familiar with the series, how would you describe what the series is about?
Well, I don't know anybody who's not familiar with the
That's
coldest
right, the coldest winter ever. That's right. That's right.
The coldest winter ever has survived through generations. It's a book that every new set of 13-year-old girls and boys read. It's a book that is so popular in the prison system. It's so popular in all women's gatherings and even sororities and so on and so forth. So people who follow the series know the winter series is like the coldest winter ever, and then Life After Death, and then Love After Midnight, which is in stores now today. I also, this is my 7th novel, but this is the first time I ever read the audiobook. So if you buy the book from Audible or wherever, you're going to hear my narration of one of my books, which was a big deal for me because I never narrated the books before.
How has winter changed since Life After Death?
How has winter changed?
Yeah.
I think winter is so much like us. In other words, you know how something spiritual can happen to you, something really big, or you almost met your demise or death. You had a car accident and it spun out of control and you were hanging over the bridge. Or in the case of one of my sisters, you know, she had a car accident where a tree fell on her car.
Oh, gosh.
And I think what happens is it's a really big deal when it's happening. And it's a really big deal when you feel the loss and you feel the pain and you feel the suffering. In Life After Death, I think so many shocking, unknown things happened to Winter Santiago. And when she came out of that experience, really by the grace of God, she was very clear about it. But like most of us, we forget.
Yeah.
You know, one day you were praying and thanking God, and then 2 weeks later, you're like on with the show. So I think she has changed in some ways. She knows that there is a God, and I don't think before her death experience she knew that. She is all about her business now, and now her hustle is legal. It's not illegal, and that's a big deal. Her father, Santiago, is her manager now. She has her own reality show. She has a lot of leverage, though, because she has a brother-in-law who is in the film industry, is quite popular and quite powerful. So how she juggles is what we'll see Winter go through in Love After Midnight, and how she pursues the things she wants in her life. Like she wants a man, but she's looking for a man that feels like the men of the 90s. And it's no longer the 90s. Now it's the 21st century. And she don't like these new dudes. Mm-hmm. So she's disappointed because she doesn't have somebody that, she really feels, deeply connected to. And so she's pursuing that. But she's very picky, and she'll chew somebody up and spit them out in an instance. So it's good for her business-wise. Financially, it's good for her. Family-wise, it's a struggle for her because she has a certain kind of personality. But I think that people will love After Midnight. I call it a hood romantic comedy. And the reason why I say hood is because romance in the hood sometimes is not that romantic.
Mm-hmm. It's actually more trauma bonding than anything.
Or toxic.
Mm-hmm. In the first,
so you're about to experience her trauma.
Mm-hmm. In the first chapter, Mood, the first couple of graphs grabbed me. You say, what Winter is saying, I'm addicted to the struggle and the hustle, moving and maneuvering, fight and fury, action and reaction, pressure and tension. And I was like, wow, you don't as a person growing up, like a girl from around, you don't realize how much you're addicted to things that are really traumatizing to you, and you think you need it kind of to live and survive until you get out of it, or until you go through an experience like what she went through in the last book. Speaking from that perspective, as a person who, you're guiding Winter, what do you want us girls to take away from this book? Because when I read that, I'm like, oh, this is deeper than a lot of people even probably know on the surface, watching her journey through this new book.
All right. In the beginning of my novels, always there's a poem.
Yes, the where.
And this one, is what to remember and what to forget. So what as an author, what I'm showing is that sometimes we don't focus on which things we should remember and which things we should forget. And even artists in the entertainment industry have this same problem. A lot of times, if you're coming from hard times and then you get a certain amount of money that you never thought you would earn, like you're making 7 figures, you never thought you would have that in the palm of your hand, and you're young. So you want to bring everybody with you. But if you bring the streets with you into your business, things get complicated. And I think that we can all agree, I'm constantly seeing cases on being aired on platforms and on television about this rap star, that rap star, this celebrity or that celebrity. And it was the person's inability to transition from one level to another level, not knowing what to remember, what to forget, what to hold on to, and what to regret. Sometimes we glorify things that are not good for us because we're just used to it.
Right.
And so if you hold on to it because you're used to it, it's going to ruin the gifts that you received. So I think life is a balancing act. And I think that all of us need guidance and all of us need faith. And I think if you don't have a faith, whether you're Christian or Jewish or Muslim or whatever your belief system is, if you don't have a faith, you don't have guidance and you don't have limits to what you will and will not do. And furthermore, you don't know who is all powerful. So you'll start doing things for people because you think that those people are in control.
Right.
But really, only one is in control.
No, it's crazy. You look at sports and you look at all these other organizations, and they have people that actually come in to help these young men or young women transition from one stage of their life to another stage of their life. But when you look at the entertainment industry, they don't have that, because a lot of everybody, or most people that come up from the entertainment industry are from the street. So like you said, they think what's popular or what they should be doing is something that they see, and there is nobody teaching them this is not the way.
Right.
There is no guidance.
But Envy, there were people who were doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's in the interest of people who are financing these creative arts
Mm-hmm.
for their artists to stay in a state of ignorance, then they block. It's the same like you block somebody on your phone.
Yep.
You block the good people. You block the leadership. You block the intellectuals. You block the people who are just good people who want to give guidance.
Yeah, because
so that we can prosper from it, you know?
Yeah, and we see it so many different times. I just wanted to get your thought, because I mean, you're so profound in your thoughts and you actually do the homework. What is your thoughts on what's going on now with politics with Kamala Harris and Donald Trump? What's your thoughts on that? Because you've never been a person to bite your tongue. You're gonna say what it is and how you feel and what you thinking.
It feels like, to add to Envy's point, it does feel like, especially around Israel and Palestine, it does feel like there's a lot of sister soldier moments happening.
That's right.
Yes.
Sister soldier moments.
Yeah, you know how they call, these politicians call these things sister soldier moments, and it feels like a lot of that is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Well, politics-wise, I grew weary of politics
Mm-hmm.
a number of years ago, because I don't think that the people are given real choices. I think you're always just doing the minimum, like, okay, all right, it's this one or that one,
Right.
but you don't feel good about any of it, and then there's also the fact of being organized is a really big deal. Because if a community is not organized, they don't even understand the political structure. It won't even matter what you vote for or who you vote for if you don't have an agenda,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have your agenda backed up by finance,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have an understanding of how the system works. And the system is quite intricate. So, I don't know. I think for maybe 40 years, I was always that voice that was saying, was questioning and proposing and suggesting and working and communicating and so on and so forth. It just got to the point where it seemed like it wasn't that people didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
They just weren't interested in doing it.
Right.
Do you think? I don't want to say. What do you think of the Vice President Kamala Harris? What do you think of this moment that we're here in America? Do you think it's revolutionary? Do you think it's historic? Do you think that it's something that could change things?
Oh boy.
Well, I mean, when Obama was running, everyone was excited and probably in tears. And, actually I was living in Japan when Obama was elected. And I watched, all the different news agencies and everything. And people really were so overwhelmed with happiness and tears. And they seemed to think that the world was going to change in some really huge way. And, I think that President Obama was a nice guy, but I don't think that the world changed in any huge way. I think it's a matter of knowing and studying and learning and planning. So it's not a matter of, is it going to be this man or this woman? It's not a matter of that, because at the end of the day, it's just the face. But you have to know how to work the system. and you have to be organized to impact the system. And I think in the U.S., we have a cult of personality, you know. We just pick who we like or who looks the best or these different things, but it really has nothing to do with politics and power.
Gotcha.
That's real. Why haven't The Coldest Winter Ever been turned into some type of series or movie yet?
I had that same question.
Are they scared?
Oh my God, yes.
I know Jada, I think, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Jada Pinkett Smith option it back in the day? Or something like that?
She optioned it a long, long time ago. Let me just tell you succinctly, like just give you the truth. A Hollywood contract can be maybe 50 pages long and not just be one of them. And there's so many strange things in these contracts. And it makes me understand how other people kind of got caught in a bad situation. But I read the contracts line for line, and I have my red pen and I write notes on the side, and I negotiate, because a contract is a mutual agreement between two or more parties. And so I feel like I have a voice in the contract, whereas movie houses seem to think they write down whatever they want to write in this contract, and you just sign on the dotted line and don't ask any questions. So I think my intelligence has worked against me in terms of the Hollywood system. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to just sign some weird agreement and end up regretting it. So I don't. So we were at a major studio, and I just found the experience not to be what it should be.
If somebody came to you with the right situation that you were comfortable with and you could trust, would you do it, or are you just completely against it because of like the politics that go behind, closed doors sometimes with the Hollywood studios?
No, I'm not against it. The right deal, yes, the right deal. Let me give you a better example so you can see what I'm saying. So I said to you, I have 7 novels.
That's right.
So I say, okay, I'm interested in making The Coldest Winter Ever into a film. And the Hollywood studio says, great. And then they come back with the contract, and then the contract says that they are accessing The Coldest Winter Ever, A Deeper Love Inside, and some other book that I wrote. And I say, no. That's not what I'm selling. I'm only doing a one deal with The Coldest Winter Ever, the film version. And they say, yeah, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to freeze all of your other works. So you agree that during this whole process, you won't sell or discuss with any other company or business person converting this book into a film. And we're going to freeze it for 5 years before and after the film is made. Just strange situations. There are even some contracts that want you to not write anything else until this is produced. So I'm not interested in legal shackles, you know?
Yeah.
It's like if I had 10 houses and I'm selling one of them, and you tell me, okay, I'll buy this one, but you're not allowed to sell the other 9. What?
Yeah.
But they're my houses.
Right.
That's right.
So what are you talking about? Okay, well, you can sell it in 10 years. Come on, man. What are you discussing here? So I think that the contracts are also set up in a way that they're using a very, legalistic language, of course, a very high language. And so they expect you to not understand. But I know what in perpetuity means. It means forever.
Forever.
Right.
So you're agreeing to something forever. When you look at these contracts, if you have any kind of independence in your thinking or intelligence in your thinking, you're not going to sign them. And so people think, oh, we'll just let her sit over there and wait. She'll get tired of waiting and then she'll come and be more obedient. But that's not really the case.
That's right, because you live a great life.
Mm-hmm.
An amazing.
Alhamdulillah, I do.
That's right.
You know, I try to be a good person. I make my prayers, you know, every day, throughout the day. And Allah takes very good care of me, alhamdulillah. So I have no complaints. I'm not in a desperate state. And that makes me really comfortable.
Well, you know, my daughter just turned 16, so I'm gifting her the whole book series, The Coldest Winter Ever, Life After Death, and now Love After Midnight. I think, you know, she's ready to read those now. I believe she is.
I hope you give her the midnight books also, because she needs to know how to evaluate the guys that, you know, she will come across in her life.
I don't want to think about that.
Y'all might got to talk through those. Like, she need to read and then y'all sit down and talk. Because the Midnight series, it changed my whole, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was good, but it's so
you
good,
need
though.
to know, she needs to know what a man is and what a man isn't. And really what a woman is and what a woman isn't, because the midnight books don't only address manhood, they also address womanhood, you know. And that main character is very influential. And that midnight series, I think, should be required reading instead of some of the silly stuff that you get in high school.
I agree.
Well, make sure you pick it up. If you're out and about, pick up Love After Midnight. And Sister Souljah actually did her own audio this time, so you could pick up the Audible as well. And we appreciate you, and be safe out there. We love you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Queen.
All right,
Peace.
It's Sister Souljah.
Peace.
It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.